Lauren Ann here today, and I have glasses upon my face. I got them little over an hour ago. They're awesome, and I did not know that my sight was so awful. I can read words from a distance now. We were in the grocery store, and I was like, Mom, I can read the sale sign in the back of the store! I got excited about that. I'm going to start making videos every Wednesday now, because my swimming team is drawing to the hectic part of our season, which is regionals and state. It's just a lot of stuff. I will be traveling very shortly every Wednesday. Every Wednesday you will see my face. I make up for it with a ginormous book haul, maybe. I have 18 books fresh off the library shelf. I have this weird thing where I really enjoy reading romance novels in the summer. And I don't know why I do this, but the majority of the romance novels I read are in the summer or on breaks. And I think part of this is because I think if I read them during the school year, I'll start going around the halls screaming, "Why can't you be like the guy in the Sarah Dessen book?" That wouldn't end well. I think that might scare people off. With the mention of Sarah Dessen, the first book is What Happened to Goodbye by Sarah Dessen. And this is about a girl who travels a lot, or moves from town to town, but of course she lands in this one town, and she meets somebody who makes her want to stay in said town. The next book I have is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, and I have been wanting to read her Darillium series for the longest time, but my library has all the other ones in stock except for Darillium, and it so I compromised for Before I Fall, which seems really interesting. I think it's about a girl who dies, but she relives all of her days, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Next book I have is Inkheart by Cornelia Funke? I don't really know what this book is about, but I remember seeing the trailer for it when they made it into a movie a couple years ago, and I remember being very, very intrigued by it. So I decided I would just start reading it. The next one I got is The Book of Broken Hearts by Sarah Auckler, and it's just another summer romance novel. Next one I got is Palace of Mirrors by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I love Haddix books. They're really good, and I know that some people consider them children books, but some of them are kind of intense. I love her books because they range from cloning to princesses. She's an amazing, very talented writer. The next one I got is Enchanted Ivy by Sarah Beth Durst. It's a supernatural book where this girl goes to is accepted into Princeton like everybody else, except she's accepted into the magical side of Princeton. The next one I got is The Symptoms of My Insanity by Mindy Roth, and it is about a girl who is a hypochondriac. It's just about her insane life. You look different in real life, and I first saw the side of this book and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be a romance novel about a girl who meets somebody on internet somehow, and then they meet each other and it's like perfect, and I was way wrong. It's about a girl whose entire life is documented from 5 to 16 and made into motion pictures, and it just seems like a really interesting idea, and it could be wonderful or it could be disastrous. Abigail Adams by Woody Holton, and I am a huge admirer of Abigail Adams and her husband John Adams, so I'm excited to read this one. I'm currently also reading John Adams by David McLaughlin, and I'm just excited to read this at the same time just to get a little perspective from the other side. From what I have read so far, Abigail Adams is a very impressive woman who is very much ahead of her time. She was one of the first recorded women to ever write her own will while she was married, because in colonial times women were considered properties of their husband, thus they did not have the right to write a will and give away things that were not their property but the property of their husbands, which means they couldn't even give away a pair of pearl earrings to their daughter because that wasn't something that she had the right to do. But she did it anyways, and she brought forth the idea of women's rights. This book I got is The Goddess of Yesterday by Caroline B. Cooney, and this is the third time I've checked this book out. The 2 prior times I checked this book out, I didn't have time to read it before I had to return it, so I'm going to make it a priority to read this one because I really want to. And I just read 2 books about Helen of Sparta, Nobody's Princess and Nobody's Prize. They were a series, and Helen of Sparta is the main character in this book, so I'm interested to see how she does Helena Sparta because I find her to be a very interesting character. I think people can take her a lot of places because you don't really know much about Helena Sparta except for the fact she's pretty and she started the Trojan War on accident. The next one I got, I'm really excited about. I've been wanting to read these books for years, but I haven't had the money to buy them or wanted to pay for them. So it is The Lux by Anna Goddsbersen, and last time I went, they had every other book in the series but The Lux, but I went back and they had The Lux. I'm not sure these are in the right order, but there's Splendor, Rumors, and Envy, and there's some pretty interesting looking dresses on the covers. That being said, I'm excited to read them, and I think they're going to be very dramatic, which is going to be like reading a soap opera. Next one I got is The Sword in the Stone by T.H. White, and it is an older book, and it is about King Arthur, or that time period, and I'm excited because I love King Arthur's mythology. I find it very, very intriguing. Please, don't judge me too much. The next one I got is The Student's Guide to Congress, and yes, this is a textbook, and no, I did not get it because I'm taking some kind of school class next year that is going to need me to know about Congress. I got it purely because I want to know about Congress, and I find politics very interesting, and I want to know how it works. So I got a textbook. And the judging will continue with landmark debates in Congress. Please stop. I can see the eye rolls and laughter and what the heck's in my head. I can hear them and see them, and stop judging so hard. I find history very interesting, and it's even got modern day politics in it too. So I'm excited because there's some very dramatic stuff that has happened in our history. For example, one congressman took his cane to the other congressman and I believe killed him because they did not agree on slavery. There is some crazy stuff that has happened in our Congress, and I'm excited to read. This has been a book haul with Lauren Ann, and I shall see you next time. So alone. Abigail, words tripping, failing to speak.